Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and this is the day when my appearance on Countdown went out today, so you will know, if you were in the UK and managed to watch it, that it worked out okay, and I'll be back on the show on Monday, so do check that out as well if you're able to watch Countdown. Had some thoughts at one point about making it available to see. I don't know if that can work. There'll be something in the description field if we have managed to make it available for people not in the UK to see. Now, yesterday's puzzle that Simon did was by Codec, and he said to me during the afternoon that if I hadn't watched the video, he'd just heard that there was an interesting companion puzzle that I should have a go at. And I hadn't watched his video this time, so I haven't seen Simon solve yesterday of Codec's puzzle. I don't even know what it's called, actually. But the intriguing story is that Mr. Menace and Codec shared an idea and then both took the idea off in different directions and created a puzzle with it. And this is Mr. Menace's version of the same idea. So you can perhaps compare, well, you can compare Simon and my solving, potentially. You can compare how the two constructors have used the same idea and see if you can see how that applies. And very worryingly for me, I kind of get to set myself up against Mr. Menace, who is a pretty tough constructor, working with an idea that he's developed with Codec, and in a way I'm setting myself up against Simon here as well. So it's a really interesting idea, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go. We've basically got what I get. I don't know what Simon solved, what the rules were, but I get a killer Sudoku with diagonal constraints. That's it. So looking forward to having a go at that. Now, why is it important that I haven't seen Simon's video? Well, obviously he will have approached whatever the idea is, he will have come across at some point in the video and solved for it, I suppose. So we are always very keen on the channel not to have you think that we haven't solved the puzzles before. We don't want you to think that we've seen how to do the particular puzzle we're solving before. And it's reasonably important to us that these puzzles haven't appeared on YouTube and haven't been done by us. So that's how we roll here. From the word go, when we founded the channel, we were very keen to ensure that as far as possible, it wasn't likely that these were pre-solved puzzles, because that would be a bad look. Anyway, let us park that and mention the Patreon Snack Doku reward, our 100 puzzle test for our Patreons, 4x4 puzzles though, so not so many digits to fill in. In fact, 100 4x4 puzzles, that's 1,600. If I could divide that, no it's not. 100 4x4 puzzles is 16 cells in 100 puzzles. It is 1,600 cells. I must be getting something wrong, because I'm not prepared to believe that 100 4x4 puzzles is as many cells roughly as 4 9x9 Sudokus. That can't be right. Is that right? 100 times 16 is 1,600. Divide that by 405 and you've got about 4. Wow. Okay. It's not that many cells to fill in then. I must be doing something wrong by a power of 10 there, I feel. Anyway, probably not. That's on Patreon. Do check it out. Later, well, next week we'll be putting up my crossword solve on Patreon. Simon will be doing a crossword today, of course, the Friday crossword masterclass, I believe, and yeah, all going on the channel. As always, on Tuesday we'll be streaming the Chants of Senar. I'm guessing from what people are saying that it will be a penultimate visit to Senar, but that's a bit random. Don't know that for sure at all. And there's all our apps and our merchandise and Sven's Sudoku Pad on the links under the video. But the first link is to Mr. Menace's version of whatever it is we're looking at here. And when I've finished this puzzle, I will go and have a look at Simon's video and see if I understand the connections and if I've learned the same things in some way. Fascinating. Anyway, give it a try here. If you will have a slight advantage over me, and that's fine if you watched Simon's video yesterday. But I am going to start now. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to go through the rules now. 1 to 9 in every row, column and box. That's normal Sudoku rules. Within a cage, digits can't repeat and must sum to the number shown. So those 5 add up to 23 and no repeats. And on the blue marked diagonals, there are no repeats. So they will each contain the numbers 1 to 9. That's it. Now I'm going to start. Let's get cracking. And one of the first, well, I see a 7 cage, which is 1, 2, 4. But one of the first things I notice is this shape of the 23 cage, which means that this cell cannot appear in the 23 cage. And the same is true of all of these rotationally symmetrical cages. This center cell is not in any of those. But 23 and 27 are not very big numbers, obviously. I don't really know how to use that. Okay, the 9 cage must have 2 low digits in. It's either 1, 2, 6, which would be very interesting compared with the 1, 2, 4, because 1 and 2 would be in those cells. Or it's 2, 3, 4. Again, an interesting comparison. 2 and 4 would be in those cells. But if it's 1, 3, 5, then we're only definitely putting 1 into these 3. Is there a... Okay, this isn't set exactly. This is just maths. So the secret that we occasionally share with you is that each row and column of a Sudoku and box adds up to the same number, which is 45, and that's because that's what 1 to 9 adds up to. So this green column adds up to 45, but we know that these purple cells add up to 54 because they're both 27 cages. Now, if we delete the common factors there, then that means that there's a difference of 9, which is the difference between 54 and 45, between the purples and the green. 9's not a very helpful number there, although, well, it says this green cell can't be a 9, because you can't make these add up to 18. Actually, it can't be an 8, because they would be 9 and 8 to add up to 17, and it can't be a 7, because these would be 9 and 7 to add up to 9 more. Also, 9 can't be in the purple cells, and this can't be 9, 8 or 7. Now, what's the total when we go do that for the across? That row adds up to 45, obviously, and these add up to 46. So the difference between orange and green is 1, orange being bigger than green. Ah, yeah, it works exactly the same the other way around. So green can't be 1 because they would have to add up to 2. Green can't be 2 because they would be 1 and 2, and green can't be 3 because they would be 1 and 3, and 1 doesn't appear in orange. So now green can't be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, or 9, and is 4, 5, or 6. It doesn't feel wildly powerful. Now, if it's... I bet it's going to be 5, but if it was 4... then these two add up to 5. No, it's these two that would add up to 5. They would have to be 2 and 3. Then we'd have 2, 3, 4 on the diagonal, which would be quite useful. That would actually be quite a good diagonal to have in terms of looking at these 7s and 9s thing. I might be able to rule out 6. Now, if this was 6, on this diagonal, where they add up to 9 more than 6, they would be 7 and 8 on, oh no, it's not. These would add up to 7, but they could be 2, 5 or 4, 3. No, it's not so clear cut. I feel like I've already delved into quite interesting theory, but I don't really know what to do with it. And there's not actually that many cages to go after these ones. Yeah, I also feel like I'm now bumping into a brick wall. I do feel it's all about these relations between this cell and these other cages, though. Now, we worked out that, I did say this, didn't I? 1 can't go into orange. Did I say that? Yes. Because those are 46 and that's 45. The orange adds up to 1 more than the green. If there was a 1 in orange, the other 2 cells, the green and the remaining orange, would be the same on the same diagonal. So there is no 1 on the orange diagonal, in the orange cells, or in green, obviously, and therefore there is no 1 in this 9 cage. Isn't that lovely? If there was a 1 in the 9 cage, the 1 in that cage would mean that none of these cells on this diagonal could have a 1. And if we're saying none of these can be a 1, we cannot get 1 onto the diagonal, and that's impossible. So there is no 1 in orange. There is a 1 in these cells. That's how this plays out. And then 9 has to be a 2, 3, 4. Okay, well that's something. Now there is a 4 on this diagonal. It doesn't have to be there, though, I don't think. In fact, if it is there... Oh, no, there's also a 2. Look, 2 has been kept off the diagonal in boxes 3 and 7. So 2 is in these cells. And they add up to 1 more than this. So if this is a 4, they're 2 and 3. If this is a 5, they're 2 and 4. If it's a 6... they're 2 and 5. It can't be 6, 2 and 5 because 4 is also in these cells, so that doesn't work. But it could be 5 with 2 and 4 or 4 with 2 and 3. So we can rule out the 6 now, and 2 and 5 is a possibility. I mean, it's some headway. Right. I'm feeling quite pleased with that deduction. I wonder if we've been in the area where Simon was at all. I don't know. Now, these purples add up to 9 more than this cell. So if that's a 5, these are 6 and 8. If that's a 4, then they're either 5, 8 or 6, 7. So they're from 5, 6, 7 and 8. I mean, okay. Now, the 20 and 21 cages can't contain 1 or 2, can they? No, they can't. So 1 and 2 must be at the ends of that diagonal. There's got to be a 3 on the diagonal. Oh, look at that. It can't go in the 21 cage because it would go in there with 2 9s. So it's in one of those cells in a 3, 8, 9 cage. Now we've used up either 8 or 9. Now, what were the possibilities here and how many of 4 and 5 do they use? Oh, that's weird. I was going to assume that they only used 1 of 4 and 5, but actually, if we put a 4 here, this could be 5, 8. But it doesn't have to be. It could be 6, 7. Oh, I mean, I think I'm just going to have to think about all the possibilities. Right. If this was 4, 5, 8, 4 in the middle and then 5, 8, that would be 3, 9. We'd have 6, 7 here and an 8 here. That's very possible. If this was 4, 6, 7, we'd have to have a 5 here and either 8 or 9. It would have to be 5, 9 with a 7 here. If it was 5 and these were 6, 8, that would be 3, 9. These would be 4, 7. That doesn't work. You'd need a 10 here. So it's not 5 in the middle. So let me just check that. If we had 5 in the middle, these have to add up to 14. They have to be 6, 8. That would be 3, 9. This would be 4, 7. And this cage wouldn't work. So it's not 5 in the middle. It's 4 in the middle. These two do add up to 13, but there seem to be two ways of doing it. And we're just going to go through those again. With 5, 8 there, you get 3, 9 here. You get 6, 7 in these cells and 8 there. If it's 4, 6, 7, 1, 2, there is a 3 there. These are from 5, 8 and 9, and they do include a 5. So they could be, but they can't be 5, 8, or you'd get a second 8 in the cage. So they would be 5, 9 with a 7 here. So this is either a 6, 7 or a 5, 9 pair. This is a 6, 7 or a 5, 8 pair. It doesn't quite do anything. I've got a 1, 2, 4 triple in the top row, in which the 4 is in one of those cells. I've got this 1, 2 pair that see both of these cells. Oh, I've got that 4. Sorry, now that I've got 4, orange is a 2, 3 pair. And what's that telling me? Not a lot extra. No, I don't know. See how these are getting resolved either. I can't really do anything with these long cages at the moment. Right, I must have got something from the other work that's been done in these corner boxes now. These aren't a set. Oh, that can't be 1 or 2, so it's not 1. Okay, what comes next? Oh, these two cells, they can't be 3, 8, 9, and they can't be 1, 2, 4, so they're from 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, and 4 in this box, one of them is there, the other two are here. But they can't be a triple there, or you couldn't fill these cells. They'd both have to be 3. So that is from 1, 2, or 4. And the other two are here and that forms a virtual quadruple with 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 of those digits are in those cells and the other 2 here. So these other cells in the column are from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It doesn't really do much for the 13 cage or even the 23 cage. And that corner cell, I kind of knew that was from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 anyway, because of the 2, 3, 4, 1 presence here. Here's the number I've got in the grid after nearly 15 minutes. I feel like I've done a bit of the break-in, but I still don't know where to go in this puzzle at all. I suppose 1 must be in one of those 3 cells, so that's not a 1. It's either 2 or 4. So, oh, hang on. 3 isn't in those cells because it's in this cage. So 3 is definitely in one of those two, and it's not there. So that's a 2-4 pair now. But now the deductions I'm making don't kind of feature elsewhere in the grid. They don't do anything. Okay, this digit can't repeat in this cage. So in box 6, that's in one of these 3 cells, forming a virtual 2-3 pair. Okay, maybe that works the other way around. This digit can't be in those cells, and it can't be in those cells, so it is in these 3. Aha! It is not in the 13 cage, because 2 and 3 don't go in the 13 cage. So that digit, right, I'm going to colour that differently from the other one now. These 2 are now different digits. They're not interesting me as the same digit. So that must go here and is 2 or 3. This one is in one of those 3, but that one can go in the 9 cage. It's also in one of these 2. I've got this 2-4 pair. Oh look, that's placing 4 now in this box. Isn't that incredible? 4 must go there. That is not the next digit I was expecting to fill in row 6, column 3. And what is the, I don't know, this is, well, it's not a 4-9 cage now. It's either 6-7 or 5-8, he said very obviously. Where's 1 in this box? Is it there or is it in the cage? Ooh, I nearly had an answer to that. Yeah, okay, interesting though. 1 has to obviously be somewhere in this row. That's a knowledge bomb. So it's either in this 23 cage or this one. Now, each of those 23 cages has both 2 and 3 in it, because orange must appear somewhere here, well here, and blue must appear somewhere here. Therefore, one of the cages has a 1 in it as well, and has a 1, 2, 3 population. And the 1, therefore, must go with 9 and 8. As well as the 2, 3. So in the other cage, on the other side from the 1, 9, 8 combination, we have to put 5, 6, and 7 in the cage. And that could occupy, well, can 5, 6, and 7 occupy 2 of these cells? Well, sorry, can digits from 5, 6, and 7? That couldn't be 5, 6, 7, because you couldn't make up this cage, but that can be one of them. Say that was a 5. Then you could put 6 and 7 in this group of cells, and that could be 5, 8. That would be 9. And that does just work. Ah, we nearly had it broken there. Oh, it's interesting, but it... Okay, can I do this with this? No, I can't. I was going to say, does that have to be here as well? But it doesn't. That can obviously be in this 27 cage. Still, it's interesting to think that one of these cages on one side has 1, 9, 8 and the other 2 or 3. And on the other side, 5, 6, 7 and the other 2 or 3. Okay, this 9 cage, it doesn't have 4 in it, so it's not a 4-5 pair. It doesn't have blue in it. It could have orange in it, and alternatively, it's a 1-8 pair. I don't know. Yeah, this blue can't be in the 13 cage. That, I don't know if I made it clear. That's what I was thinking about a little while ago when I was wondering whether blue could be placed in this box. Blue can't go in the 13 cage, but I think it can go in this 27 cage. 4, 2, 3. 1 is in one of those cells. So these are all from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The higher digit. 3 is in one of those, which forms an X-wing with the 3 in one of those two and puts 3 in one of these places. That is not very powerful. Well, it keeps 3 out of this cage. It's not a 3/8 cage. I don't think the thinking is going to be as powerful. Well, I suppose it's a little harder still to put a 1 into these 27 cages, but... Or is it? I don't know. No, maybe not. Gosh. 2, 3, 4, 1... Those are 2 digits from 5, 6, 7. I can't see the next step. Cannot see where I should be looking at. Blue. That was such an odd digit to get. $43. Maybe I should think about where 9 goes in the central box. 9 and 8 go together in one of these cages. I don't know. I don't know. What am I meant to be doing next? Orange has to be in one of these 3, and therefore one of these 2. So if orange was a 2, it would have to be there because of the 2-4 pair. Now, is that a problem for any reason at all? I don't think it is. That has to be the same digit as that. Is it worth colouring 1s versus 2s? I'm already colouring 2s versus 3s, so that could get very confusing. I mean, I can see that those 2 are the same digit because neither... No, that's not true. They're different digits. They're different digits because that 1 is different from the 1 or 2 in those cells, so the same as this one. Therefore, those 2 are the same, but on the diagonal, those 2 are different, so those 2 are different. And that means this can't be a 1 or a 2. That is not a very powerful conclusion. And if it is in some way, I can't see why. And there we go. This is galling. I've made some decent progress and got very stuck now. Right. These add up to 13. They're a different flavour of this 13 cage. If that's a 6-7 pair, this would have to be a 5-8 pair. And they're a different flavour from this 13 cage for the same sort of reason. So these 2 are the same flavour. And then whatever digits they are going in these cells in box 5. So this is now a 5, 6, 7, 8 combo, is it? Oh no, this can't be a 4. Oh, hang on. There aren't, sorry, I have to go back there. That wasn't right. That is a different flavour from this. And this is not the same flavour as purple, but I have to reintroduce the 4-9 flavour as a possibility here. So it doesn't have to be the same digits as yellow. If it was the same digits as yellow, if these were yellow, then yellow, as I was saying, would have to appear here. This would have to be a 9-1 pair. Oh, that's annoying. It's good that I didn't forget in the end that this could be a 4-9 pair, because otherwise I'd be making very bad wrong assumptions. But okay, this is 1 or 9 because it sees both yellows, both purples, and 2, 3, 4. Up here we have a purple, a 1 or a 9, and 4. It's a very weird combination that I literally cannot pencil mark. There's no way I can bring those into the party. Okay, where's blue in this box? I suppose it could be there. Yes, I don't know that it's not. I was going to say it's in one of those two cells, and then it would be in one of those two. It's not quite powerful enough to do anything again. Oh, this is tricky. This is tricky. Now, this cell doesn't see both yellows. It does see both of those. If they were 4-9, this would be yellow. No, it could be 1, and that's not a sound conclusion. If they're yellow, though, then it's the other of 1, 9, and these two are yellow. Now, is there a problem with those two both being yellow? I don't think so. Getting badly stuck now. This is Mr. Menace for you. You get a certain amount of a way through something, and then it just can grind to a halt because he's very clever. Oh, I see. Okay, just it's taken me a long time to see that purple cell. Let's. Now I'm going to leave these flavored purple, but that purple cell can't be in that cage again. So in the central column, it is in one of those 3 cells. So this contains both purples in its 27 total. This similarly contains both purples in its 27 total because the version of this in column 5 must be in this cage. Okay, now one of these cages contains a 1 and both purples. Now that cage is then going to have 2 more digits that add up to 13, because 27 minus 1 minus 13 is 13. So one of these cages has got both, but it's not 4 and 9, it's got both yellows and a 1 in it. It's got another purple, both yellows and a 1. And the other cage has, what's left over? A 9. Both purples, obviously, because they all have that. And then 2 and 3. Is that right? 9, 12, 14, and a pair that adds up to 13. Yes, that is right. So one of them has a 9 and both blue and orange. So if blue and orange were both here, this 11 cage would be 4, 7 or 5, 6. If blue and orange were both here, it wouldn't affect that 13 cage in the slightest. If blue and orange were both here, that would be a 3. One of these would be a 2. If blue and orange were both here, what would it mean? I don't know. I don't know. Gosh, this isn't easy. But we're one breakthrough away from getting going on this. What on earth is it? Blue and orange. One of these is blue. So if that's blue, that's blue. No, yeah, that is right, actually. That's interesting. If that's blue, that's the same digit. Oh, if that's blue, yes, it's got to be a 2 because it's overlapping. Now, why was I starting with if that's blue? Blue could be there and be a 3. In fact, if blue is a 3, it is there. Maybe that's worth looking at first. If blue's a 3, so one of those two, something there. I can't see anything further beyond that. I haven't put it twice in a diagonal or anything. So blue could be a 3. If that's, it's not quite the same to say if blue's a 2, it's there, is it? Because if blue's a 2, it could be there. If blue was there, it would be in one of those two. It would be that one. I just not getting at this, am I? I wonder if this is the bit in Simon's puzzle. I mean, I suspect the similarities have probably come earlier, but maybe not. Maybe. I don't even know how long Simon's video was. I have managed to avoid looking at it entirely. These are also from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should probably have marked that in at some point. I mean, it would be annoying if there's just some quintuple somewhere in a box that I should be noticing. These are all from, well no, 3 of them are from 1, 2, 4. The other one is from 5, 6 or 7, isn't it? I'm so annoyed about these 13 flavours. I really feel like I could almost have dealt with them. This digit has to be in here somewhere. So this cage definitely has those, and then it's either got 1 and 2 yellows or 9 and blue and orange. Okay, whichever one of these has 9 and blue and orange, and the other purple cell, must have the 9 in the central box. One of those two is definitely a 9, because the central box digit can't be the other purple, blue or orange. That's interesting. And the one that has 1 and 2 yellows, if it was up, that's why this is 1 or 9, but I can't say the same about this because this could be yellow. But 9 is now confined to one of those two places. So these cells are either yellow or 1. Now what was going on in the 23 cage? We didn't have to keep the two yellows together, did we? We've got, one of them is 1, 2, 3, 9, 8. And no, if yellow's an 8, it's getting split up. The other one is what is 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's close. And it's interesting that 9 is in one of those. I hadn't seen that before. I'm tempted to assume there's a 9 in there and a 9 in there, but that's just madness. 9 is in one of these cells. Come on. Come on, Mark. What does that do? If that was a 9, that's a 9. One of these is a 9. And then this is the 1, 2, 3, 8, 9 cage. This is the 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 cage. And if that's a 9, this would have to be orange plus, I think, plus 6, 7. So that could be 5, 8. And that would be a 1. It's interesting if that's a 1, because then this can't be a 1, 8 cage and has to have one of the 2s or 3s in it, which has to be the orange one. Ah, jumping Jupiter. What on earth am I meant to be finding next? This is very hard. If that was a 4, one of these would be a 4. There is surely some way of getting through this. Now, those being yellow, what happens if those are yellow? Then those are yellow. Maybe the other way of looking at it is if this is a 4, 9 cage, given that we know 4 and 9 are there, we've got to fit 4 and 9 into these 3 cells then. And this cage is either then 9, 2. Well, it can't be 9, 2, because then 4 would go here and clash with the 4 in here. So this would have to be 4, 7. And 9 would be there. So if this is a 9, 4 cage, this is a 4, 7 cage. Now, 7 has to not be here and has to be in... Well, what does happen? We've got 4, 7 there and 9 there. This is if this is a 9, 4 cage. Things get quite pressured if this is a 9, 4 cage. That becomes a 4, 7 cage. That's where I'm driving at with this. And that's a 9. So you've now got 9, 4, 7 here. And what's going to fill the 27 cages? It's either a pair of yellows or blue, orange, 5, I can't remember, blue, orange and 9, is it? Yeah, it is. Either a pair of yellows and 1 or blue, orange and 9. Obviously there's another purple digit here. So I'm postulating 9, 4, 7 here, and these to contain that purple digit. 2, 3 would definitely work. Would double yellow work? Probably it would. Okay, so that would be really helpful. Okay, the alternative is that this is double yellow, like that. And then you've got yellow in these positions. Now, that's a problem. That's a problem because one of these, apart from the purples, we've worked out that these sets of 4 contain pairs of... One of them has 2 yellows in, doesn't it? That's what we've said. One of them is both purples, blue, orange, and 9. And the other one is both purples, 1, and both yellows. So if those were yellow and that was yellow, this cage has to have another yellow which clashes with that yellow. So this is not double yellow. Done it. Right. So this is a 4-9 pair. It's not double purple and it's not double yellow. It's the 4-9 pair. Now I have done some of the thinking ahead. So 4 and 9, given that 9's in one of those cells, 4 and 9 have to be here. We know that can't be 9-2 because the 4 that would put there would clash with the 4 up here. So that is 4-7. 9 goes up here. Now, surely this is going to actually help. That is not a 7, so this isn't a 6. Please do something else for me now. Although, of course, this is where I ran out of thinking power about what to do with everything before, when I was postulating this possibility, which has turned out to be right. There's a 7 in one of those cells. So the 7, there's no 7 in... Oh, excuse me. Okay, well that was quite a long delay as the men have come to repair the curtain tracks in my daughter and son's room. Don't ask, can't you do that, Mark? If I did it, the curtains would fall down all the time. And that was quite a long break while they brought in their stuff, went off and parked their van and came back, and I'm desperately trying to remember where I was in the puzzle. I was trying to look at 7 because 7 has turned up in this 11 cage, and I think therefore it is not in the 27 cage up here that I've got highlighted. So that's right. There's no 7 in that cage, so there is a 7 in column 5 somewhere here. That's good, because that stopped this being a 7, and now we know I was going to say the value, the flavour of purple. Purple is 5 and 8. So yellow is 6 and 7. That's got to be important. So this cage contains a 5 and an 8. This is vital, surely, knowing the flavour. Yes, 5 and 8 are on this diagonal, so 8 is not in those cells. 8 is there. 3 and 9 are in those cells. These don't have 9 or 5. That's a 6-7 pair. 8 is there as well. We're getting all sorts of purple 8s now. Those can't have an 8 in. That can't have an 8 in. 8 is... Wow, is that right? 8 is at one end of this diagonal. Look, those 2 8s see both of those cells, and those 2 8s see both of those. So 8's at one end of that diagonal. Come on, this has got to be doing stuff. 9, 4, 7. Now, orange, yes. Orange is now in this group of cells, and we worked out that orange and blue were together in one of these L-shaped 27s. So they're both up here. Orange and blue are both up here. And this cage contains orange, blue, and the other purple, which add up to 13, 16, 18, and a 9. This cell has to be the 9. I'm just checking that logic. Okay. So actually, I could take white out and put purple. So that is 58239 as a cage. 1, 6, 7 in the column are in this cage, along with 5 and 8. This is a 1, 5, 6, 7, 8 cage. That does add up to 27. Okay, good. Now, blue has ended up here. I still don't know whether it's 2 or 3. We haven't got that far. Orange is in one of these cells. Can we do any more with blue? Yes, blue has to be in this cage, doesn't it? Because 2 and 3 are both in it. So that's become blue, and it's not a 4. Now, one of those two is blue. I don't know which one. It's either 3 above or 2 below. One of those 3 is blue. Blue is in this cage, obviously. I mean, that's not actually a revelation. Blue on the diagonals. Neither of those, no. One of these two is blue. I think we've said that before. No, hang on, that's not blue. Oh, blue on this diagonal is either there or there. That's annoying. We're not finished, are we? I thought for a fleeting moment of excitement that we were getting very close. I think it was one of those puzzles where I said earlier, one big deduction and we're done, and we're not done. Okay, this row, 6, 7, 2, 3, 9. These are from 1, 4, 5, 8. So this cage contains a 2 and a 3. I can't remember what the makeup of these 23 cages were. Oh, and these, that's not 5 or 8 in this box. These cells are from 1, 6, and 7. That one can't be a 7 because of the 4, 7 pair. Now, both of these 23 cages contain both blue and orange, which adds up to 5. Oh yeah, one of them then has 189 in it. Well, that could certainly be this one. That would be the 1. This would be 8, 9 orange. That would be 5, and that would be 1. But could that be over this side, the 189, 189 or 189 blue this side? It would be in those cells. So that would be the 1. This would be 8, 9 blue, and you couldn't have 8 here, so that would be 8. That was 8, 9 blue, 1, 4, 5. Then you've got orange, 6, 7 still to go. And you can certainly make up the 9 cage using those. Have I maybe, at least, this would be helpful. Have I come to the conclusion that one of those was a 1? I think if this was 189 orange, that has to be a 1. If this is 189 blue, yeah, that has to be a 1. One of those is the 1 in this row. That's weird. I'm not comfortable with that deduction. I want to think about that a little bit more. One of these cages is 189 blue-orange. Yeah, okay. In that case, one of these is a 1. Now that's not a 1 in box 5. So this cage definitely has a 1 here. So these aren't 1. Where's the 1 in column 4? It's there. And this is the 189 orange cage. Excellent. Okay, I don't quite know how we got to that, but we did. One of those is orange. I'm just going to mark that. These are now 5 and 1 down here. And that has become 8. This is 5. These don't have a 5. That's 1, 4, 8. Now, these are blue and 5, 6, 7. So that's obviously not a 1. 5, 6, 7 and blue. So 5 is definitely, this can't be 1, 8 or 5, 4. So then it's obviously not a 9. I could probably have put that 9 in ages ago. I've only just seen that. This is orange and its partner making 9. That's not a 9 now. That could still be a 9. Lots of places could still be a 9 on the other end of that diagonal. Up this column, we've got 2, 3, 8, 4, 9. So these don't include a 3. That's interesting, because the 3 in the top row is now here, which is certainly not purple. Purple is an 8 and goes here. It's got to be right. So that 8 goes here. This is orange or blue, so it's 2. That's going to fix things, is it? That's going to put a 1 there anyway. That's going to put 1 in the corner, top corner, 2 in the bottom corner. Well, that wasn't something I was expecting to get fixed. We get 1 on the diagonal now. I got that a while ago without noticing. 1 is in one of those 2 cells. Not there. Oh, now it's got to pick up a lot of Sudoku. 8, 8, 8 in the corner. That's not 8. 9, 3, 2, 4. That's not 1. This is a 5, 6, 7 triple. That's not 1. We've placed 1 in box 2. That's not 1 either. So my remaining ones are in these 3 of those 6 cells. That's not a 5. I don't think it's worth looking at 5 on that diagonal yet. Oh, come on, keep going. This is going all right now. Still don't know. Oh, yes. No, I don't know which is blue and orange out of 2 and 3. I can't believe that's still uncertain. I thought this 1, 2 would unwind long after I knew what 2 and 3 were. Right, these don't include an 8. These do include a 1 and a 5. These are from 2, 3, 6, 8. Well, they have to have a 6 in here, don't they? In this column. So there's no 6 there, and that's a 6. And that's a 7. And I've written 5, 6, 7 in here, but I've forgotten to put 2 or 3 in or something. Now 7 is in this pair, so that's a 7, 2 pair, and orange has become 2. That's worth knowing. Right, there's no 2 there. That's a 2. That's a 3. There's no 3 there. There's no 3 there. That's a 3. Blue is a 3. Okay, blue is a 3, so this is a 3 on this diagonal. Hang on. I just want to be certain. There, yeah, that's a 3. That's how to do it. That is a 3. Yes, okay. And that is blue. That's okay. Just want to make sure I'm not making any false deductions, because they could be absolute killers at this stage. Right, but now that's become a 2. That is orange. I don't think the colouring really matters anymore, but might as well keep it going for what it's achieving. Actually, that 2, 4 pair would have taken 2 out of there. Never mind about that. No 9 here. No 8 there. 5, 6, 7s look like they're going to be things that we're left tripping up over at the end. 1, 3, 4, 2, 8. That can't be 8. This looks like the hardest box to complete. How about the diagonal? That is 5, 6, 7 or 9. So I've placed 8 weirdly in box 7 there. Okay, yes, because of that 8 and that 8, it does get placed, interestingly. 9 and 8, that can't be 9 now. In fact, 9 in column 1 is there, that's on the diagonal, so that's not 9. Again, we're going to get these 5, 6, 7 triples all over the place. Might yet have to colour them. 3, 9, 1, 8, 3, 2, 8, 4, 6, 1, 5, 7. Now, we've got that 2, 4 pair. So that's not a 2. 9 is in one of those cells. Oh, these 9 and 4 are resolved. 4 in row 8 has to be there. That fixes 1. That's going to get my last 2 1s done. Still piece by piece by piece, isn't it? 2, 2 there fixes 4 and 2. Oh, I didn't sort out. Right, those are definitely orange. That one is nothing, and that one is blue. I don't need the colouring in 6, 7 anymore, or indeed the green colouring. I'm just doing blue and orange now. Fine, that's fine. Okay, 2, 4, 8, 1. Now, 3 and 9. 9 has to go there. 3 is in one of those cells and not resolved. 9, 9, that's a 9. That's all my 9s done, I think, in the puzzle. This is a 3, 5 pair. What's this? That's a 6. That's not a 6. That's not a 3. There we go. Good, good, good. Oh, this feels like it's finishing off now, and what a relief. I mean, I wonder if I've made myself look a doofus compared to Simon. That's the 7 on the diagonal. 4 and 8 there. 5 and the 3, 6 pair still to be resolved. I'm sure it's very straightforward. Oh no, there's drilling going on. Let's try and finish this off before that becomes disturbing. That's a 4. 2 and 4 there. That is now 6, 7, 6. That's a 2. These are 7 and 5, 6, 5, 6 on the diagonal. We'll be able to pull that down to the other diagonal and finish off. Yeah, that's it. 5 and 6 here. There we go, Mr. Menace. We have gone from pillar to post. 70 minutes includes a bit of a break to admit the working men who are doing a real job, unlike me. Oh, I could get rid of those purples as well. There we go. And that was an excellent... What have I just done there? That was an excellent puzzle, but did my head in. Great. I'm glad Simon recommended it, but it was an interesting struggle for me. I suspect I don't know. I mean, in my path, the steps I took a long time over were hard. Now that doesn't mean that those are the only way you could have done those steps, but that's the way it worked for me. Great fun anyway. Oh no, I tell you what I will do. I will take a moment to look up how long Simon's video took him, at least, just for a comparison. I mean, it's a different puzzle. It's not the same puzzle, so there's no way of literally comparing the two. But I haven't seen this before, and oh, was it not? Oh yes, it was yesterday's puzzle, right? And it took him, okay, 1 hour and 6 minutes. Well, that's pretty comparable, isn't it? How fascinating. I wonder how similar they are. I'd be really interested in your comments. You know, I will do my own analysis afterwards, but that won't feature in this video. Thank you for watching, as always, and hope to see you again on Cracking the Cryptic. Countdown on Monday as well. Bye for now.